ABC News is now ready to project that Barack Obama will carry the state of California, carry other states in the West. Barack Obama will be the 44th president of the United States. Barack Obama has been elected president. And I would just say, thinking about this moment, that's the reaction out in Times Square. ABC News ready to project Barack Obama will be the next president of the United States. The reaction in Grant Park in Chicago, where Barack Obama will appear tonight.
11 p.m. on the East Coast. We're back on the air, and we have news. There will be young children in the White House for the first time since the Kennedy generation. An African-American has broken the barrier as old as the Republic. An astonishing candidate, an astonishing campaign, a seismic shift in American politics. You are looking at the 44th President of the United States. The celebrations begin at 11 p.m. on Election Night. Let's listen to Grant Park in Chicago.
We're gonna spread happiness. We're gonna spread freedom. Obama's gonna change it. Obama's gonna lead 'em. We're gonna change it and rearrange it. We're gonna change the world.
Oprah Winfrey greeted viewers in a live show from Chicago this morning, just 10 hours after Barack Obama delivered his acceptance speech. Oprah was wearing a Hope Won t-shirt and called it a new day for America. Winfrey had decided not to use her show as a platform for Obama's campaign, but today with the election over, she said, "I'm unleashed."
Oh, okay. I have two words for you, America. Mr. President! During this long campaign, I'd made a vow at the beginning that I would not use my show as a platform, so I kept my mouth shut and supported Barack Obama as a private citizen. And today, though, the election is over, and I'm unleashed!
Shortly after the left-lurching Democrats were beaten back by the American people in 1994, Republicans and conservatives were instructed not to gloat.
Obama! Obama! Okay, we are here to celebrate this monumental change in the White House. Yes, we did. We did it. We had to leave our house to come and be a part of this.
I rolled out of bed for this.
It is great to see everybody just very happy together and celebrating, just like one nation.
We just kept hearing, we get calls come to the White House, and just thousands of people have came, and it's awesome. I can't explain it, you know. Just young, old, black, white, it's amazing.
We did! Yes, we did! Yes, we did! Yes, we did!
Shortly after Republicans attained all three branches of government in 2000, we were instructed not to gloat.
You know, it's so funny. I took my son with me, and he kept saying, Barack Obama, we did it, we did it. And I sat by my son's bed, and...
Emotional. Don't go. Don't do it.
We've always been people of color. We've always had these limitations on us. And I remember somebody in my family said one time when I said, I want to be a comic and an actor. They said, no, go get a job at the post office. They don't let people like us do that. And so to look at my son and say, no limitations on you.
Beginning election night, the Democrats' gloating had begun.
Tonight is your answer.
We have allowed rhinos to take over the Republican Party. Those who sought to reach out to Democrats while a noble gesture are the ones who brought the Barack Obama juggernaut down around us. When Bill Clinton was first elected with a Democrat House and Senate, no overtures were demanded by the media and none was offered by the left. When John McCain found media refuge in bashing his own party in 2000, he believed it was his ticket to political success. When George W. Bush was elected, his new tone was not embraced. And now that Rahm Emanuel will become Obama's chief of staff, no new tone will even be considered.
Yeah, well, you know what? I want to do everything I can to make this thing work, this new presidency work, and I think that
is
the
that
successful
your job?
model.
You just talked about
yeah,
being
my
a journalist.
job.
So
my
your
job is to help this country.
Is to make this presidency work.
It's to make this work successfully, because this country needs a successful presidency more than anything right now, and it needs to set the priorities straight. And I think a successful presidency keeps the focus like Reagan did, and shows the kind of discipline that LBJ did in keeping control, and the crackle that Kennedy had. I think we're going to see the announcement today. I think it's going to be Rahm Emanuel. I think they're just probably holding off so the president can make the announcement. That's my hunch.
Okay. Well, I'm a little confused about what the job is here, because of course, we all want things to work, but I'm not sure it's our job. Rick Stengel, in terms of when someone
how can you not root for the success of a new president?
You know what? I just think it's going to be important to ask questions.
As Americans, Chris Matthews, we're all rooting for the success of Barack Obama.
I know what you're
America's
saying.
at a perilous time, but you just talked about being a journalist, and your job as a journalist is not to question motives, and then 2 seconds later, you said your job was to make this presidency a success. I
think so. I think we need a successful presidency.
They will seek to crush their opposition while they have the opportunity, something we could have done in 1994 and 2000, but Republicans listened and obeyed the demands of our political enemy. We left them alone. While millions of Americans took to the streets in third world-style jubilation, celebrating the end of all things racist, sexist, homophobic, intolerant, Republicans who stayed home that night should reflect on why they didn't come out for John McCain and Republicans. Our elected national leaders decided it was more important to be liked by our enemies and took our votes for granted. Our elected leaders decided it was more important to water down our principles, spurn the base that put them in power, and reach out to those who consider us lower than Satan's bile. We have allowed them unfettered access to our children, and liberals have successfully spawned a new generation who voted for Obama because they were told they would see change.
We want to talk about the presidential election, okay? But I want to ask you, who are you pulling for? Raise your hand. You pulling for Obama. Who you pulling for? And if you pulling for John McCain, that's fine. Say him as well. Obama. John McCain. Oh, Jesus, John McCain. Okay. Now I want to ask you something. Why are you pulling for John McCain? And it's okay, but why are you pulling for John McCain?
I think it's because my parents are going for him too.
Okay, your parents are going for him. Why are you pulling for Barack? Or Barack?
Because I just want a black president sometimes.
Okay, you want a black president? Who else too?
The reason why I would pick Barack Obama because he's making good changes in the good country and stuff like that.
So he's making good changes for our country. Okay. Now, can you tell me just a little bit more, like what type of changes? Like not having a fight between Iraq and having soldiers killed. So in other words, Barack is going to end that war in Iraq. What do you all know about that war in Iraq? Talk to you, because your dad is military. Talk. It's a senseless war. And by the way, Kathy, the person that you're picking for president said that our troops could stay in Iraq for another 100 years if they need to. So that means your daddy could stay in the military for another 100 years. I can support whomever I want to support as long as I don't browbeat another person for the candidate that they supported. Like I have some students that support John McCain. And when they told me that, I said, oh, that's good. And I went and I just moved on. So I think everybody's entitled to their own personal opinion. And we have something in our school system that's called kids voting. In my class, Barack Obama won. Don't you forget. We're all teachers and don't you forget, never give up and prove your best.
We have allowed the left the room to protest conservatives while they redefined our God-given right of dissent as hate and smears. We have allowed them to rewrite history for their political convenience and use the very words of racism and intolerance upon those who had the nerve to oppose them. Thankfully, we are now going to live in liberal America. While that's reason for many of us to be concerned, it's also a golden opportunity for another brand of change.
Let's resist the temptation to fall back on the same partisanship and pettiness and immaturity that has poisoned our politics for so long. Let's remember that it was a man from this state who first carried the banner of the Republican Party to the White House, a party founded on the values of self-reliance and individual liberty and national unity. Those are values that we all share. And while the Democratic Party has won a great victory tonight, we do so with a measure of humility and determination to heal the divides that have held back our progress.
There's so many things that I don't know, in terms of the makeup of people. We've gone through this long campaign. I care about it almost as much as you do in terms of being a political junkie. But there are questions you don't know in terms of, I don't know what Barack Obama's worldview is. I really don't know.
No, I don't either.
Know how he really sees where China is and where it wants to go and how smart he is about that, or India, or the whole global structure.
When most sports teams have a disastrous season, very few go without making drastic changes in personnel and direction. This is our opportunity, and Republicans nationwide need demand a house cleaning of so-called leadership. Rhinos should be told in no uncertain terms to leave the party and become Democrats. Those who sympathize with the enemy are the enemy, and we should have no use for them. At this time when we're about to be gang raped by the Democrat Party, we should allow no place in our home for those who open the door and let the rapists in. That means saying sayonara to the McCains, Romneys, and our turncoat senators and congressmen and women who reached out to everyone except those who put them in power. My father said, "You have to kiss butt before you can kick it." Sorry, but rhinos tried kissing the butts of the left in their media, and look where it got us. History has a grand way of repeating itself. While Republicans were told to consider the feelings of those they vanquished in 1994 and 2000, no such restraint was evidenced and no such mercy will be forthcoming. The Democrats will overreach again, and there will be another opportunity for a Republican revolution.
I have a lot of friends around the country, African Americans and others, who are very successful warriors or people in science or in the academy. They now want to go to Washington. They want to be part of their government. They want to get into the arena.
When Barack Obama and his party start pulling back on their many promises, the evils of America aren't erased overnight as believed, and we are perceived as weak by our friends and enemies alike. The American people may come calling on us again. Should that happen, the rhino wing of our party should not be allowed anywhere near the reins of power and decision-making. If anyone is to blame for the election drubbing that was, it was those who sought to go along to get along for their own personal aggrandizement. All of those in Republican leadership who ever sought compromise when they didn't have to need to be removed from any kind of political influence. If they are not, don't bother sending out those donation letters. Don't bother asking for volunteer help. Don't bother asking us to call our Democrat congressmen and women to complain when these same Republicans will stab us in the back later. Whoever is the new Republican Party head coach, he or she needs to be someone with a spine. Only losers seek to reach across the aisle. Only losers abide by the demands of a slanted media and lift their foot off the neck of a vanquished opponent. Only losers seek the adoration of those who hate us. Only losers seek our votes when it comes time to keep them in power, yet are ashamed to be seen with us in public. Our losers have brought us to this moment, and we shall pay dearly for allowing them to do so unchecked. Until we have fully purged our grand old party of the enemy within, we deserve everything a vengeful, intolerant, hate-filled Democrat Party will do to us.
We need to be consistent here because during the past 8 years of the Bush administration, nobody ever looked at political maneuverings inside the White House and second-guessed those, and nobody ever questioned motives of George Bush or Dick Cheney or Donald Rumsfeld or...
Let the Democrats gloat. They will. While they rub it in our faces, don't get mad solely at the progressives. Remember those who brought us all down with them, and when the time comes, we won't be kissing their butts. We must kick them and kick them out, once and for all.
There's a shift in consciousness. It feels like something really big and bold has happened here. Like nothing ever in our lifetimes did we expect this to happen.